Rob, you're totally cheating.
I'm not cheating.
Rob,
I've done this multiple times.
This is not going to work.
I can see this.
Hold on.
I can't even do it as I'm watching the camera.
Hold on.
This is really
We're
weird.
20
if you're watching
seconds
it.
in.
If you're staring at me right now,
15.
you're probably weirded out. Sorry about that.
What's up, peeps?
What's up, Coda fam?
Yes,
Today's a special one.
and you're listening to the Coda
Podcast.
Coda Bits, guys.
Coda Bits.
Coda Bits. That's right. That's right.
Welcome, everyone, to Coda Bits. Special guest, Rob.
Hi.
No, we want to welcome everyone to joining us for, I would call it a special one today, right? We've got the one and only Neil Putney. Neil Putney, welcome, Neil. Who are you?
But you first have to spell my name correctly.
Right, which we'll get into because I think that's one of the most funny things
It is.
that happens with you. But who are you?
Please tell everyone as you address the crowd.
I am.
This is live right now.
Yeah.
So let them know who
We're
you
starting
are.
out going, right? Here it is.
I'm head of commercial sales at Coda.
Nice.
That's what I am.
Nice. Nice. Where do you come from?
South Africa.
Oh, that's such a
where
That's
the
a cool
accent
place.
comes from.
cool accent, man.
I would have pictured you Australian, but you know, the red hair and all of that aren't most people
So we're just starting
Australian.
off with insults.
Yeah,
Anyway.
right now.
No, that is not
Right
an
on.
insult.
That's not
That
an
doesn't make
insult. I
any
know.
sense.
But you know, you just called all the redheads. That's an insult. That's not fair.
Well, the thing is that the accent is most confused for either being British or Australian.
But I can totally tell the difference now. So I was at my son Christopher's baseball game Saturday. And one of the moms, she's the one that takes, what do they call that person?
Team mom?
No, but she's the one that,
Scorekeeper?
yeah, like and who's got
Sorry,
the
he's
runs.
not from
and-
around here.
Listen, no,
He
I played
kinda is,
soccer.
but,
Listen, I played soccer my whole life.
but
I have an
soccer's-
excuse. We don't sit there and score
Why?
RBI, this,
Why?
that.
That doesn't make any
Listen,
sense.
it's irrelevant.
Man, I don't know. It sounds pretty relevant.
Listen,
what is softball?
it's baseball.
Oh,
He's playing baseball. Softball is just a softer, larger ball.
It has holes in it, and so when you hit it, it doesn't go as far.
Listen, you start talking about cricket,
Yeah.
you'll totally get
Oh, man.
It's like cricket, right? Is it cricket the one where you throw the ball and
That's his jam. Don't you play cricket?
How much time have you got?
nice?
I want to hear about
So-
this.
No, but wait, listen.
Oh,
So
okay.
one of the moms, and she's the one that does all of the tracking of runs.
It's called
and
stats, man. Statistics.
Yes, that. She spoke, and I'm like, she was sitting right next to me and my wife, and I'm like, what? Where are you from? She was like, actually, I'm from like a small town in Cambridge, England. I was like, and you moved here? Like, what? She literally said she came on a visit for 18 months. That's how long she was supposed to stay. And now she lives here. And her whole family's still back in England and all of that. But I can totally tell. I'm surprised you didn't do the whole, and where's he going with this?
That's why I'm quiet. I'm just.
No, but you can totally tell a difference. Now that I know you,
Yes.
and I know that my old neighbors were South African,
Yes.
good.
Yes.
Good. I can totally tell a big difference
Yes.
between the English, European, that style, and then South African accent. So now I like it because now I can like pinpoint if someone's from South Africa and they're like, really? You knew? So that's kind of cool.
It's one of the things that I've had to change slightly the way that I speak to customers, because there's just some words that we just pronounce differently.
Differently.
Like a router here, we normally call it a router.
Rooter. That's the guy that does the plumbing here.
Yeah.
Rooter.
We got you a rooter.
We got you a rooter.
That's not why I'm contracting you to be here.
Which I got a few quite blank looks when the first time I
Yeah.
said it to people. And also the word data. Yeah.
All right. What do you say?
Data.
Daughter.
Data.
What do you call? You have a son and you have a
Daughter.
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 Oh, nice. I like it. All right, cool. So everyone, welcome Neil. Neil is an integral part of our company. I would like to say we were sold on his accent when we met him. So daughter, all of that, we were sold. Rooter, and he really manages most of the commercial sales here.
Yeah.
Right. And he does a fabulous job at it. He treats it like it's his. I would say one of the best really characteristics of you is every job that, comes on deck with you is really loved and treated like it's the one and only happening at that time. And I don't think you can find that.
That's a hard thing to find as a
right,
business owner, because we talk about this conferences that we spend, weeks at and stuff like that, right? And having employees that have that ownership mentality of the projects, if it's, out in the field, if it's in the office, if it's selling, whatever it is, it's a hard thing to find. And Neil definitely has that. He's, always looking at, the project as if it's as Chris just said, the only one running at that time. Yep. So he'll come to us, and then you could, have another project running as well. Feel the stress
coming off of it.
Yes. And we call him Thumper also in the office, because you can hear him coming a mile away, coming down all the stairs and all that stuff. But it matters, and that's always a good thing. We always enjoy hanging out with Neil too, and talking with him and going over projects. And he's a good guy. He's honest, transparent with the clients.
All right, man. Listen, this is going to lead to a raise.
He's incredibly
Go ahead, Neil. What were you saying? He's incredibly good looking. And
they're only saying this on
live broadcast. That's the only reason.
Actually, what's my next line? I just got the paper.
Listen,
there.
I've got a lot of notes. Hold on, I'm fumbling through my notes.
Yeah. I think the next part is about the raise that we've been discussing.
Yeah, but we weren't going to do
live.
that.
I knew he was going to pull this
later.
Man.
I knew he was going to set us up. It's not about the money. But listen, so I've brought something with me today. We were just at a conference in Nola, right? That's what they're calling Nola. It's called Nola.
Yeah.
That's what they call it. Listen, I learned. So we were just in New Orleans for the ASEAN conference, and we did this. More of like in an intimate one of our breakout sessions. And I thought it was eye-opening. So we have a slight advantage over you, but I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you one. No, everyone's doing it.
I'll do it with
Move your cup out of the way. All right, listen. So you're literally just touching and going through. I'm going to set.
Hold on. I'm
going to set a timer.
This is what he has given us.
Can you see it?
Okay.
So let me set a timer.
Is it's numbers 1 through 50, and the object is to go in order 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 50. Okay, and you have to touch each one.
Yeah.
Okay? You just have to touch them,
and we're going to time.
We're just going to do 60 seconds. Do we have 60 seconds? Noah's given us permission to go 60 seconds. All right, here we go.
Wait, hold it. So
you just touch them.
You have to go 1 through 50, and then we're going to ask you how far you got.
Ready? Everyone ready? Here we go. Ready? Go. This is a good time where
he's going to fast forward.
We need some Jeopardy music or something. Rob, you're totally cheating.
I'm not cheating.
Rob, this is
I've
not
done
gonna,
this multiple times.
This is not going to work.
I can see this.
Hold on.
I can't even do it as I'm watching the camera.
Hold on.
This is really
We're
weird.
20 seconds in.
If you're staring at me right now,
15.
you're probably weirded out. Sorry about that.
What are you on, Neil?
I've actually
Neil,
just
what number are you on?
I'm
on 16.
I did it 18 times.
We're 14 in it.
He's on 14. I'm on 16. Oh my gosh.
There is a point to this.
Rob, what are you doing? You're supposed to be doing
it 80 times.
No, you did not. Dude, you're so not fun. This was really fun. This was supposed to be for everyone.
I am already doing it. Getting to it.
I remembered where. All right.
Come on, time's got to be up.
Time's over. What number did you
16.
stop at? That's ridiculous. 16? I can't even judge you because you didn't really do it.
Well, don't judge people.
Can you just do it? This time we're going to do it again. So supposedly something about the numbers are in quadrants.
Now that you know.
And now that you know that they're in quadrants.
Of 5.
Of 5.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that whatever number, say you're at 11, plus 5, it's going to be around there. Okay.
Does that make sense? So like there's a plus 4 or 5.
All right, Richard, this is your fault.
Richard with Hasio, this is your fault. But I love it. All right, Rob, really do it this time.
All right, you got it. I've already done it 18 times.
Do it again.
Okay, you got it.
So you got to 14?
16.
6. I got
I'm going to really
16,
try hard
17.
this time.
All right, ready?
Uh-huh.
Reset, go. Gosh, it is always
This is
here
really hard.
quadrants, my butt. There's nothing near each other.
Got it. That one.
All right, 13 through it. Got it.
Tell us when it's over, Chris.
I am 14. Oh my gosh, I always get stuck. You are so full of it, dude.
What
You
are you talking
totally
about?
cheated
No, I'm
in
not.
school. You 100% cheated in school. 16.
Oh, I'm not cheating.
17.
We got this. Are y'all, if you're still listening to this, it's
20.
a great time for a commercial.
do. Oh my gosh.
All right, time's got to be up, man.
50 seconds.
All right,
All right, we'll cut it short. What'd you get to that
20.
time? 20.
Ooh.
So you improved.
That should be the number.
So this was an exercise of when I tell you something, you should improve the next time. You're welcome. Now you.
And
now
the point for Neil is
I think I've just lost 5 minutes of my life that I'll never get back.
It was only 2 minutes. It was a little less than 2 minutes.
2-ish.
It was literally only 2 minutes. Anyway, it's actually really crazy. There was something with quadrants and the number being plus or minus.
So why did we
but
do
near
this
it.
in this exercise and podcast? Was it just for fun?
It was literally just for fun.
So it didn't matter if you closed your eyes while you did it then? Because it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I had a blast closing my eyes, touching the
It
paper.
wasn't fun. But I do want to get into, because I feel like last podcast was about just something. And I wanted this to be about really one aspect and one avenue of our business. So inside of commercial, what all do you typically, when we call it commercial, what do you typically tackle as far as projects? Like just
So the commercial side, as I classify it, is basically anything non-residential. It's not a home. It's not where people are going to be living. It's the corporate world, be it the hospitality, be it retail, be it the health and fitness, hotels, gyms,
Okay.
Offices, high-rise buildings, assisted living, hospitals, basically anything that falls outside of the residential market. That's what I do.
What's your favorite?
Health and fitness, probably.
Really?
And hotels. Back in South Africa.
Well, why do you keep coming down to our office so stressed out every time there's a new gym or a new hospitality project? I'm confused now.
It's just timelines that get me. But I mean, as you said about having an owner mentality, basically the way I look at it is that your project is the most important one to me, because it's your money. Yes, if it's only a $5,000 coffee shop, but it's your $5,000. It's your space, so it has to get my full attention.
Well, the
Otherwise, I shouldn't be doing
unique
it.
thing about commercial too, right, is there is a slight part of it that is for entertainment, of course, right? Internet, if somebody's just sitting there doing work there or something, but there is an importance, a level of like an extra sense of procurement that we have to go through too, because these companies are trying to make money and make a living for all the people that work for them, all the employees, and then potentially and hopefully continuing that brand. And so it does take someone special who's going to look after and mature that project all the way, see it through. And that kind of fits inside of our values here at Coda, because we care about every project as if it's our first, and that's why you do fit so well in that. So my question is though, like, what are like some go-to things that you do? So let's just talk about the gyms and stuff like that. What are you looking out for when you're putting together a gym proposal? What are you doing?
Let's go Tar Heels.
I don't know.
He
who
had to
that
say
is.
that one time.
Listen, let's go Heels. I'm representing. I just have to break it up for a second. I'm super pumped about the Tar Heels.
There he goes, Mr. Comedian.
I have nothing.
How do you not know about the Tar Heels now? You live in North Carolina.
All right, back to the commercial question there.
So
Let's talk
is
more
there
boring
crickets?
commercial. Crickets.
Yeah.
Nice.
There is a cricket.
Noah's supposed to be the one that's handling
But you can
all
still push
the,
buttons.
Yeah, I knew I shouldn't have given you control over the board
There
today.
he goes again. All right,
Right,
so
go ahead.
next, what are your go-tos?
for the fitness industry, it depends on what type of gym it is. If it's a normal, am I allowed to say names in here?
Yeah.
Crunch
yeah.
Fitness or
Yeah.
one of the bigger gyms. It's mainly about background music and camera surveillance and having decent internet. But then your smaller gyms like Rockbox,
More boutique style.
it's a studio type exercise, and there are some fundamentals that have to be met in that type of space.
Right.
There needs to be, particularly with the music, there needs to be a decent amount of air moving. You have to have, 12 or 15-inch bass drivers moving air.
Oh, yeah.
because
Is it a
that's
true
what the
story?
customer wants.
Is it a true story? Tell me if this is right or wrong, but is this a true story that we actually put in equipment that was too good at one of the locations? You want to talk about that
Well,
for a second?
it was enough for the Rockbox space and for the two companies
Two
on each side
adjoining.
of it.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's not our fault. We didn't design the building. We didn't build the building. We didn't tell them to sublease there. But
And also on that particular one, unfortunately, the contractor didn't put in the required
the sound blocking and
between
dampening.
between the walls. So
Well, listen, so there's so much more you need to know about this guy. And we're going to throw up his stuff on the video. But before we do, we're going to take a break. So, Neil, he's got
He has to go potty.
Has to go potty.
Neil has to go
I
potty.
told him I wasn't going to tell him, Neil, but I had to. So he's got to go to the bathroom. He's been signaling to me. Just kidding.
Nice. All right. So, by the way,
That
go
might be
Tar
cut out,
Heels.
too.
We're
It
going
should
to
be
take
good.
a break.
Oh, good grief.
See you in a little bit.
Like what you are hearing so far? Well, you can visit CODAcom to see even more resources on topics like this. Content designed to help you, the customer, make the best decision for your integrated technology needs. Also, while you're there, be sure to follow us on social media to stay up to date on the latest technology and get a glimpse of what life is like here at Coda.
And now we're back here with Coda.
Coda
Hold on.
Beds, baby.
And now we're back. Now we're back. Okay, now we're back. Okay. Okay.
We're live.
All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm now going to interview Chris and Neil.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Welcome.
I know. I've already thought about all this.
We got this.
Yes.
got
Okay.
this.
So what
Neil,
makes,
Mike.
okay. So check this out. Chris.
What
not
makes
only
me a better
is-
salesperson than Neil? Is that that's what you were going to?
Oh, I've got some questions
Okay.
for the both of you guys. Okay. So just pay attention. We're going to Dr. Phil
Be
it up.
afraid.
Okay. All right. So Chris is, I'm going to tell you. I told you.
See?
I told you.
That's the funny.
Yeah. Okay. So what we're going to do here is first you need to know that Chris isn't only the CEO, he is also a client. I'm just kidding. And he is also
I am.
in sales. He is a client too. He's terrible.
Terrible.
It's incredibly annoying when you get those phone calls
Non-pay.
at night. And
Non-pay.
but he deals with a lot of interaction with Neil as
Yeah.
well, right? And so they design out systems and
I'm your
they do all
boss.
this stuff. So not a normal question, but what is the funnest project you two have worked on together?
I would say any of the pens, right? I mean, you know what stands out to me most? So the Pins Mechanical and 16-bit that we've done across the nation, I would say, you know what stood out that I actually used, or I was telling someone about, I think it was with the project coordinating and managing team. I was like, when we got that, I specifically remember meeting the owner, and we all went down together.
Mm.
And this is before we weren't even doing the Charlotte location first. We were actually doing which one in? It was one in Ohio, right?
It was India, I think, first.
Indianapolis, yeah.
Was
that's
it
right.
Indy?
That's right.
That was the 1st.
Mhm.
But we met him because he had already acquired the
Charlotte,
location in Charlotte, and we walked in. And this is like, if I would tell anyone, this is what gets us up out of bed and gets us excited about what we do. This is part of it. We met him there. What did that building look like?
It was just.
I mean,
it was a shell. At that
just
point.
like it was just this old rundown. I mean, half the roof was missing, right? It's an old brick, and I don't know if it was a mill or was it?
Sure.
It wasn't the CocaCola. Didn't it have some correlation to?
No, that was the one in Indy.
Oh,
That was the old bottling plant.
but it was just this old building with nothing in it, right?
Mhm.
Half the roof was gone. All of this, and we'd gotten 3D renderings and walkthroughs of it, and we're like, "That's gonna happen here."
Yeah.
There's graffiti on the walls. There's like all of that, right? And that's what, wouldn't you say that's what like really excites you? You're able to see a space before it's really anything and know that the owner has a vision. And then we tie our vision in to theirs congruently, right? To bring out what their vision is on the entertainment side of things, right? On the AVL side of things. And we were able to take that. And then when I took my family or we went for any of the many events that we've been to there, you see the whole place come alive, and it's just this whole different atmosphere.
Yeah, it is.
It's the coolest thing that I would say. Like, I know you just had numbers on paper, and I know we had drawings, and I know we had design map and all that. But when you say that would probably be
I would say
one of
it's for me. It's from the very beginning, seeing it on a set of architectural drawings,
Yeah.
and it's just in 2D, black and white, and then moving from that to a building site, and then to the end,
Yeah.
to the end product. Just being part of that whole process,
Yeah.
beginning to end, to me that's
I like how you say process.
it's not a process.
Going all the way
It's
back,
It's a process.
beginning of the,
process.
we should
It's a process.
It's a process. It's a process.
we should like rewind and go back to that one section we just talked about.
It's
like
a process.
how
and
do
a
you say?
project.
You know, that would make a really great like commercial, like new podcast. How do you say in South African?
Process.
Process. We'll get a couple of those and we'll make a really cool like
Rooter.
TikTok.
It all starts at the rooter level.
Oh,
I
geez.
love it, Neil.
So
Rooter.
Neil is, he's a good dude. You know, he's strong in his faith, all these other things. But I want to ask, what's the most fulfilling project you've ever done now, though?
That's
Because I say
difficult.
that because here's the reason why is like for us, you know, as Chris said, like we wake up, we dream, we think of CODA, we do all these things. There's so many, but
That's
there
on
are-
a business level.
But there are some like actual projects too that when you look at not just the coolness, but it's kind of fulfilling as well when you're doing something, when you're seeing maybe like a business expand, maybe when you're seeing like you start from one with the ground up and then you notice they're adding multiple locations, you know, or like maybe is there a business somewhere that actually kind of speaks closer to home? Like,
For me, it would have been Legion Brewery,
That's
Okay.
not what I thought you were going to
which
say.
is the
Okay.
first one that I got
okay.
basically here in America.
Okay.
And I managed to take it from another company at that point.
Audio video concepts and design.
It's okay. That's totally fine.
But it was all very well until he didn't know who I was. He'd never
Right.
heard of me
Right.
or the company at that stage. And he made a decision to use us,
Mm-hmm.
which was fantastic until I realized that I actually had to get the job done.
Yeah.
And I worked in it myself a lot with some friends, and we physically put it together from running all the wiring to mounting the speakers to being up on ladders and lifts 18, 20 feet in the air. I didn't know
Yeah.
what feet was in those days.
Yeah,
but it was
meters.
2 or 4
2
meters.
meters.
2 meters.
4 meters in
2
the air.
meters. That's my process. Ruda.
But we did that all.
We've given him a whole new accent. We've totally adapted.
And to actually get that one finished and have a happy client who now we've just finished our third or
Third or
one
fourth, yeah.
Yeah.
for him. I think that was just almost more. It was more fulfilling because it was personal, and it showed that we could still get things done.
Yeah, and I want to point out, because that's an interesting question that you just said, like fulfilling and he said personal. I feel like I get a lot more of that on the residential side, right? Because it is so much more personal. This is someone's home, right? So to do what you do on the commercial side, I would say it's a little bit more difficult for me, because I find myself so attached on the personal side with a direct homeowner, large and small, just it becomes more personal, and I feel like that to me stands out more about you. And I know we're boasting in him quite a bit, but,
of course, yeah,
but it's true, because on a commercial scale, and what I've seen with so many other companies, and I'm not just saying we're the only ones that do it. And I would say it's an asset of yours that you take on full-heartedly, because commercially, what I've normally seen is it's just hang and bang and you're out, right? And there's no attachment to the project, because it's not really personal, right? No one's living there. No one's cooking breakfast in the kitchens. No one's really doing that.
I mean, how many jobs have you gone to a restaurant and seen or whatever, and they have the TV and the TV's off the wall, and it's off the wall, and there's a whole bunch of cords dangling behind it.
Wires dangling.
Man, it's kind of ridiculous, honestly. Like, I remember one time we went to go get breakfast once, and we were underneath at this table, and in the corner there was a TV on the articulating arm. Remember this? And we looked behind it, and that thing is literally like tilted off the wall. And I'm like, man, I think
they use sheetrock screws, to be honest.
And it's like, this is literally what happens often in a commercial space. So it takes that extra person or that special person that kind of can come in and like take care of your needs and treat your money as if it's theirs. And the reason why we're bringing Neil on here today is so that you can kind of hear the sincerity in his voice too. Cause a lot of you guys might get emails and stuff, and I know he calls you and all this other stuff too, but like, just to kind of hear the man behind the legend, right? This is Neil.
Legend.
And I'm doing this because the more we talk him up, the less of a raise we have to give, because now
the less we actually have to show him. It's like, dude, remember that podcast we did?
Yeah.
How sweet and kind we
you
were.
Up so much, man. But on a for real note, it's like,
and then you can show your wife this podcast and be like, look,
focus.
You like it. Wait a minute.
Yeah,
I tried to give you a BMW and you backed away.
Anyways, but so, a couple more questions here. Okay.
You got any more?
I do have a couple more questions.
See. I don't think he's got any more.
All right.
I'm done.
Done. Okay. What matters most to you when completing a project?
I would say it's being able to hand it over to the owner.
I was going to say handoff.
And just having them be satisfied with what they've spent their money on, and that it's not that they feel that they've been oversold some equipment, or just it's the expectations in the initial sales meeting, and that has gone all the way through. That at the end of the project they have got what I said they were going to get, and that it works,
and a little bit more, right? And
yeah.
So I want to bring up one thing, because I got one that you battled with me on for quite a bit.
No.
Quite a while. Like, so we go at it, we battle in a good way, but it's about expanding horizons, right? So Neil comes from South Africa. Neil's done a lot of commercial. You had your own business in South Africa. You know what the heck you're doing. I wasn't here to teach you anything as far as that. I'm not here to really tell you how to massage the client correctly and to deal with the problems and the situations that come with a client. You're really good at all of that. But his approach, came to what was the one thing that really made Neil sweat, and it made him kind of just iffy about what he was doing. And I kind of force-fed Neil the world of lighting.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I remember
Fair.
that. Yeah.
Thumper would come down those steps every day. Just
Still does that.
Didn't know we were putting in Lutron panelized lighting in commercial spaces. And I'm like, Neil, you've got to start to, tie this portion into the projects you're doing. We're touching so many beautiful projects commercially, and you're leaving this on the table. And I think the experience for the end user, you're missing part of it for them, right? You've got this whole automation system on the back end. You're doing all the TVs, all the audio, but we're missing this portion. So I brought it to Neil and I'm like, Neil, you got this. We're here to support you. We walked you through it. You were like a bear, not a soft teddy bear. You were just an angry bear in the beginning. And y'all, I would like to say this man doesn't touch a commercial project now for the most part without selling what? Lighting.
Yeah.
Lighting. I mean, and now he gets it. So I would urge anyone watching, like if you had one of us sitting in front of you and selling you on something, right? Or telling you to try something new.
Right.
And you hadn't used it in your first building or your first, space that you created commercially. Trust us, try it.
Yeah.
Because we make believers internally, right?
We do,
I
yeah.
mean,
and it's not always just like, the lighting that, is like on the panelized too, like doing the colored lighting, like in a cool gym and stuff like that, where they can change it. And
ask Neil that
extra
same
cool
question you asked. What's the most crazy or fun, fulfilling job? It's going to be one of the two that I know right now that are,
currently
are really
crazy,
heavy.
some
It's
stuff.
a lot of heavy lifting.
Yeah.
Right. But you're doing everything.
A lot of planning.
Like, why don't you talk about, you don't have to really mention their names yet because they're not open spaces. And I don't know if we're actually even allowed to talk about those yet.
Probably not.
Probably not, right? So why don't you say some of the system-wide stuff that you're putting in, both of these that are going to be pretty incredible.
Oh, man,
which two I'm
so
talking
awesome.
about.
Well, the one is it's a new venue in South Park.
Okay.
And they're wanting to put in some advertising media screens inside and outside the venue.
So like LED video walls.
LED video walls, which
Nice.
will, I can 100% guarantee will be the only venue in,
Yeah.
Charlotte, really.
I would say, North Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, other than all the churches and stuff that we're putting
got
LED
that in.
video walls in, right? It's
gonna be sick.
It's a gamble on her behalf, but
But it's,
it's going to be a cool venue.
It's going to be.
She went to like the
truly
Vincent
unique.
Van Gogh thing that
And
like
really
travels
was
around the country
inspired,
and was
yeah.
like, now I want this. Right. And so she did that. So that's gonna be a cool one.
So you're helping design that part out, and I know we're doing DMX tape light
Yeah,
throughout,
we've-
color change.
We're doing Lutron homeworks in there as well.
Okay.
And then the other venue is a like an event space
yeah.
venue, which at this stage we've got about 1,500 feet of
Good
R-
gosh.
RGBW tape light,
And outdoor, right?
indoor and outdoor, and
Yeah.
then
That's gonna be so cool.
Lutron homework.
Can't wait to see it.
But yeah,
And it's cool because it's actually engaging multiple divisions of our company, right? So that's the cool part. You've got Alan that runs the House of Worship. He's
Pro
the
AV
director
stuff,
of
yep.
that, and he's got the whole Pro AV gamut down.
Yep.
So Neil was able to just say, hey,
No. I mean, Code of Power. We got Code of
we've
Power
got
in that
our,
one.
Carl with the electrical side, just crushing it on that side of it. And then you've got our normal commercial guys.
it's just the way this industry has moved and
Evolved,
evolved
yeah.
over the last 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
from just being typical audio visual.
Yeah.
To
Being anything tech at that point.
I mean, at the moment, it's audio, it's visual, it's network, it's lighting, it's just everything's
It's all
just
of it.
become so.
So I got one more question
together.
for you because I
All
know that, everybody's anxious to hear,
This
your
answer.
email address and your phone number so they can call you.
What's your direct
So,
cell
but we're not
phone
going to give that
number?
away till the very end.
Very
Well,
end.
it'll be
Noah will have to put it up. Neil,
It'll be easy
put all
for me
his
to do it.
banners.
But my email address is neil@coda. You'll never get the Neil.
You'll never know how to spell it. So Neil, the running joke around the office is all on our Slack channel is
Yes.
like, and another one, and he'll
Yep.
send it. And they completely butcher his name. I mean, it's
So we're going
all
to start
over
a
the
guessing
place.
game. If you're watching this live on
Listen.
YouTube, we would like to see the comments below. What you think or how you
How
think his
you
name.
think you
Do not go on the
spell his name.
website. His name is Neil. How do you spell it? Okay.
And at least we're telling you it's not normal.
It's not
and we
normal.
have another
Well, what
deal
is
that
normal
works for
though?
us,
What is
right?
normal though, right? Normal
Yeah.
to him is
It
the
is.
way he spells his name.
No,
So,
I think his mommy and daddy got it wrong.
anyways, one more question for you.
All right,
What do
what you
you
got?
see the commercial like, or what would you like to see in the commercial coming in the future? Or like in the commercial space of AV, what's something that resonates with you? What do you see like the department here at CODA going to? It could be a number of different things, but what do you see like the future of commercial going to?
I think there's, I mean, at the moment, we have probably got less than 1% of the commercial available market in this city.
Mm-hmm.
There is just so much more out there.
We'll stop working out of town, Neil.
Yes, I know.
We just
yes.
had a meeting about jizz.
Yes.
Jizz. Good.
But I think it would be good to get. We've got Anthony at the moment doing our designs, but
Right.
I'd like to see a dedicated commercial designer for our drawings,
Yeah.
because at the moment what actually happens is that anything AV is normally forgotten in a project until the very last minute, and then suddenly it's, oh, we need to do this, and walls are up. There's nowhere for us to put our wiring.
Yep.
So
Yep.
just to be able to get in as early as we can with the architects, with the interior designers.
I would say that would be our biggest struggle, and we were actually talking about that in our meeting. Is trying to, and now especially because we're doing a lot more on the lighting side of things, and that doesn't mean just how we're controlling it. We were always controlling the lighting.
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
We're talking about the actual fixtures, the placement,
Finally, like designing around
the design
space.
it, and
sure.
it's really educating the architects, the specifiers, and the interior designers, and all of that, and all of these commercial spaces, residentially, commercially, I mean, you name it, and really getting them to understand what we do and why it's so important to put it in on the very front end, so that we're not having to chase our tail at the end, trying to say, but wait,
There's more.
We have more, we have more. We could have done this. And I feel like you deal with that would probably be a lot of the headache that you're dealing with is because you're the guy that's got all the answers, but the book was already passed out and it was already turned in.
And there's also some technologies which have been around for a long time, which aren't normally spoken about or included during the design phase, like sound masking and light.
For us in the country, that's sound masking.
Sound masking, not
Sound
masking.
masking.
Sound
We're not
masking.
masking anything.
And
Sound masking.
He wears his COVID mask.
Oh, he does.
not wear a mask.
Not. No, you're in North Carolina, bud. You good.
As well as lighting colors in different areas.
Yeah.
The blue light and what the optimum light levels
Red,
are for
purple.
and color
Green.
for
Yep.
working.
Yeah, red, green, blue,
Orange.
white, orange.
Yes, no, but you're right. I mean, I think the biggest thing that I'm noticing too is that because we are the technology guys, right? We're the ones that are integrating technology in any space. That's kind of our motto here that, no matter what it is, no matter what division, we're going to, assume not only just the design and install, but also the risk that's kind of involved in that as well, right? And so having a one-stop shop as we are, but trying to get the architects and designers, they're starting to become more and more open to that in the residential.
More receptive, I would say.
Because they love lighting. They talk about that all the time, but now getting in the tech guys to help facilitate that. And it seems like there's obviously more of a push on that end. I could be wrong here, but this is what I'm seeing in the industry. There's been the push for a while more on the resi side, and you're seeing it kind of turn over more in the commercial. And because there is a massive play on the fact is we've often talked about in our podcast that when you are doing technology, it's not just you're waking up in your home, getting your coffee ready and listening to music. Now you're hopping in your fancy car that has touch screens and can do voice control. Then you get to work, or you're doing hybrid work, right? That's all teched out. And then on a Sunday or Saturday, you're worshiping at a place that it's going to have audio and have TVs or video walls or whatever we want to do, and then maybe even throughout the week when you're worshiping. But my point is it's becoming more and more, an everyday thing and then the expectation. And so that's turning into and translating more into the commercial side of things, right? Because now, when they're actually seem to be more open. But I think basically what you're saying and what we're all saying here at this table is that we would like to see more of that. We'd like to see more of, design and implementation be considered on the tech side. It doesn't have to always be about how loud your speakers are getting, but it also needs to be more about like the way it looks, right?
It's just unfortunate as well, is that traditionally architects don't like us.
Sure.
Because they think that we're going to be, put massive
changing things,
big speakers everywhere,
big ugly stuff,
which they do their best to try and exclude us as much as possible. But if they would just engage with us,
they'll see that's not how we do
at the right stage of the project, then these things would work.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I would say that a lot of the projects that we're on, we've taken a simple, regardless if it's sophisticated or not, a simple design or a simple ask from whether it be the owner, and taken that and kind of pushed its boundaries to a degree. And I would urge anybody out there opening up a new restaurant, opening up a new event space, opening up anything commercially. I don't care if it's an office, a corporate building, or any of that, to push the boundaries and allow a company like us at Coda, and this is one of the guys that you would get, push the boundaries with the technology, because you have to make yourself stand out.
Well,
right?
Man, that speaks volumes, because we talk about this to a lot of other AV companies as well. We go into this, these conferences, and Chris and I were sitting there talking about brand. And it's not always just about Coda. It's also like giving that advice to people who are starting their new company or their restaurant, is like, you need to consider your brand at all times and what's going to make you stand out. And nowadays, it's not just TVs, man. Like, I remember about 10 years ago, we have a client here in Charlotte, Duckworth's, man. Like, seemed like he was the only guy putting TVs in, and a lot of them.
One putting money into his space.
And that's what he's known for, even still. And then now here we are, like, fast forward, a lot of companies are doing that. So now the question is, what else are you doing? What else are we doing to kind of, to
engage the experience?
Yes, because now there is the guy in Charlotte that's known for putting a ton of TVs in his bar. So now you might want to do that, but what's going to make you stand out from him? Or it's the same thing with the gyms. It's maybe more interaction in the gym, not just having audio and music, but we can give you digital signage now that will make it more interactive and social. And there's just so many more things that we can kind of bring to the table with somebody like Neil on our side. So listen, you need to follow us. You need to like us,
subscribe,
tick
Twitter,
and talk it, and all that stuff.
We're all over that. Thank
we're
you,
all
Nola.
over. And listen, yes. And then
we're creating a TikTok page for Neil.
And what we're also going to do is, make sure to like the videos, all that stuff here on YouTube. We are going to post and say, you need to contact us, right? So go to our website, check us out. We're not just sitting here just pretending to be some guys that know what we're talking about. We've done a lot of really cool projects. Neil himself has done a lot of really neat stuff, so go on there, contact him directly, if you want to, or you want someone that's fill out a form, we'll handle it.
Take over your project. It's this guy.
Yeah.
Commercially. You suck residentially, but
big stress ball of residents. I don't know if I'm ready for that one. No. But anyways, thanks again for listening, for watching.
Thanks for Neil for taking an hour out of his day. Is like
busy day. So. Oh man, we're gonna feel it later because of
thank
it.
you guys for doing my
numbers coming back down.
I love it.
Oh, you should try this out too.
Coda Bits.
And do what I did and close your eyes if you can do it.
Dude.